Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video cigar review. This time, as you can see out the back window, I'm moving. I'm in my car, and I'm actually taking a trip over to Cabela's to exchange a Christmas gift. I got these badass shoes with no laces. They're like the epiphany of laziness, and they're a bit too tight, so I gotta run up and exchange them, and I thought I would grab the camera. It's about a half an hour ride. Whoa! I fell off my dashboard. That's not good. At any rate, it's about a half an hour drive, and I have no idea whether or not you're even looking at me now. But it's a half an hour drive, and I thought it would be fun to just do another one of these videos because I enjoyed it the last time I did this in the car when I was taking a range trip. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but I thought it would be pretty cool. The cigar that I'm smoking is one that I've had around for quite a long time. This particular cigar isn't made anymore. So I don't know how much good this video is going to do you, but I've got a Havana Sunrise. These were originally made by Luis Sanchez down in the Dominican Republic, and the cigar was made for the same people that do, or that have the Casa Gomez. And several years ago, I bought this box after a friend was kind of nagging me about it. He got in touch with me, same guy that got me into cigar smoking when we initially got into the hobby, mixed in with all these Cuban cigars that he was given. He had like these Pinnacles, just random cigars, and the Havana Sunrise was the one that he liked the most, besides the Cubans. So he starts looking around online, he's trying to track the cigars down, and eventually he calls me up and he says, "Hey Walt, I found the cigars finally. They're at such and such a website. I had never heard of it before." He says, "You know, they're like $130 a box. Do you want to split a box?" At the time, I was buying 5-packs from places like JR, spending 10, 12 bucks. So the idea of dropping that much cash kind of worried me a little bit. You know what? I have no idea where I'm going. Wonder if that is 61 down there. There you go again. This is going to be fun. Actually, that is 61, so you fell off the dashboard for good reason. But anyway, I was a little concerned about spending the money on these cigars because, for one, you know, they were grossly more expensive than I was accustomed to paying. This time I'll hold on to the camera. But alright, I guess I'm going to have to edit out a lot of this stuff. I'm trying to wedge the camera underneath the windshield, but I don't know, we shouldn't be making too many more turns, so maybe we'll be okay for the rest of the drive. But I was a little concerned about dropping that kind of cash on cigars. So I hesitated. I told him, you know, not now. And then I wound up looking around for the cigars. I wound up finding them for $60 a box, and we ended up buying them that way. I think we split the first box, and then I bought a second box. And I think I have 3 or 4 of these left. But at any rate, I was talking to Lauren Gomez several months ago, and he mentioned that while the cigar is still in production, the blend has been changed because the manufacturer has been changed. I guess at one point in time, the production number was too low for Luis Sanchez to continue doing it, so they moved production, I believe, over to Nestor Plasencia in Nicaragua. And what he was telling me was that the blend was tweaked a little bit, and it's more of a full-bodied cigar now. Now, this cigar's got at least 5 years of age on it, and I still find them quite enjoyable. The draw's a little stiff on this one compared to the others that I've smoked, but the body's mild to medium. That hasn't changed much. It's always been a fairly mild or milder cigar for as long as I remember them. The flavor profile is kind of woody. It's got a kind of a pepper component that gets you, I don't want to say in the back of the throat in a negative way, but you kind of pick up the pepperiness along the back portion of the throat. And at this point, there's really not much to it. I just lit it up, so we got a little ways to go. And I don't know, probably a good 20-25 minutes till I get to my final destination. I generally smoke a little bit faster in the car. However, I'm probably going to end the video when I get to Cabela's, because I don't know how long I'm going to be inside, and I really don't want this thing sitting in the ashtray for 20-25 minutes, half an hour, while I do whatever exchange is necessary, and then come out and relight it and pick up the review. You know, I don't think that would be fair to the cigar. And I've got a humidor of more cigars right beside me, so maybe if I've got time, we'll do another video on the way home. I don't have anything better to do. I'm just sitting here driving. So that's where we're at. I will be back in, well, just a second, as far as you're concerned, probably a few minutes on my end. But sit tight, and I'll be right back. Well, I'm back, and I had a little bit of a dilemma. I wasn't planning on going into Cabela's and then coming out and starting the video all over again, but before I knew it, I was in the Cabela's parking lot, and I hadn't picked up the camera again. Fortunately, I was only inside for about 20 minutes, so just knocked the ash off the cigar, relit it, and, you know, it doesn't taste too foul or funky or anything, so while it may not be fair to let the cigar go out and relight it again for the purpose of a review, if you want to call it that, being as this is kind of old and it's really informal, but you know, I think it still tastes pretty good, so I'm not going to knock the cigar or anything for letting it go out. It's performing well. As far as the construction goes, the draw's a little stiff. However, the smoke volume is good. It's nice and dense. It goes through the palate, or it goes through the sinuses without much effort. Coats the palate really well. It's nice and creamy. I did have a cup of coffee with me, but it's kind of gotten cold, and I find cold coffee gross, so I'm not really sipping on it anymore. It was going really well with the coffee. Great morning combination of cigar and coffee. I was quite enjoying it, but as I said, the coffee is going cold, and now I've only got the cigar. In the flavor department, there's still predominantly woody flavor. That little bit of pepperiness is still there. I've got a little bit of a salty sensation on the tongue. It's smooth on the palate. I don't have any issues with... Reposition the camera. You may have been looking at my chest or something and not even be able to see my head. The problem with driving with a camera on the dash. But anyway, I totally lost train of thought. I don't even know what I was saying. This is going to be a fantastic video, I think. Between the camera falling off the dashboard multiple times, the camera shifting, I don't even know if I'm in the frame anymore, but all in all, I'm really enjoying the cigar. I think it's great, and for what I paid for it several years ago, about $60 a box, you know, I think it's a steal. It's a true bargain. I don't even know if the company I bought it from is still in business. If you remember, a couple of years ago, there was an internet retailer. I guess they actually had a physical shop presence, and they were out west. I think they were in Arizona or something. But the husband was arrested for trying to have his wife murdered. He was trying to hire a hitman, and he got caught, and it made the news. And it was like, cigar shop owner tries to kill his wife, or tries to pay to have his wife killed, or something like that. And I haven't ordered from that place since. I don't even know if it's in business anymore, because I think it was the wife's business initially, or I think it was the wife's business when it all went down. He just was a general manager or something. I'm probably totally botching the story, but I don't care. Anyway, that's all I'm going to babble for the time being. I'll be back in, shortly. We'll take another look at the cigar. I'll wrap it up one last time, or with one last little segment of video, and that will be the end of it. So, sit tight. Alright, well, I'm back for the last time. My cigar is getting a little short. Generally, I I would put a little more time between these updates, but I'm getting fairly close to home, and the cigar is getting a little warm, it's getting a little harsh, and I think that can be attributed to the draw being a little stiff. So I'm pulling on the cigar a little bit harder than I would like. I think in turn it's heating up the cigar a bit, and there's some harshness associated with it. It happens every once in a while. I'm not too bummed out about it for whatever price it works out to be. $3 a stick, something like that, for 5 year ago pricing. But all in all, I think it's a good, solid cigar. Pairs well with coffee. It's mild. It's easy on the palate. Even for a milder cigar, it's nice and flavorful. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, some woody flavors, a little bit of pepper, the occasional salty sensation across the palate. It doesn't sound overly complex. There's not a whole lot going on. The cigar doesn't... Lost you again. The cigar doesn't take a lot of twists and turns as it's smoking along. I thought I had that really wedged under the windshield that time. I guess not. But at any rate, I totally lost track of thought. Every time I drop the camera, my mind goes blank. Even though the cigar doesn't take a lot of twists and turns per se, it doesn't take you on a journey of complicated flavors and nuances. I think for what it is, it's a good, solid cigar. I would love to try the newer blend, and one manufacturer had mentioned sending me some to compare them side by side, but I still haven't received them. And that was months ago. So, if I happen to see them pop up somewhere, I would most certainly pick them up to try and compare new blend to old blend. But, I'm really happy with this old blend. I think it's a good, solid stick. I think I've exhausted my words. I don't know what else to say at this point. So, with that said, I'm going to get on out of here. Just to recap, good value cigar, mild to medium bodied, medium flavor, kind of woody, a little bit of pepper, kind of salty on occasion, maybe a little spiciness every now and again, but it's kind of a no frills value cigar that kind of delivers. I think it's worth easily the $3 that I paid for it way back when. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Happy smoking.